This is our final program number this evening, a legendary panel discussion. We haven't had yet, which is not that typical in a Finnish symposium. After this event, I don't know if you have noticed there are stickers over there. Sure. Have you already picked them? Stickers? Yeah. And there's one highly recommended. Yeah. Actually, it was 15th February 1985 when I started talking about computers, 40 years ago. So I decided, well, I have to celebrate it. So this will be my celebration year, and I will go on tour on this end of this year around Finland and talk about, techniques, cybersecurity, etc. So please pick these. I ordered quite a many of these, so there's some you can take with you at home or with your friends. And also, if I see in a car somebody has put this on a bumper, I will take a picture and publish it on my social media as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. But please warn before she sees. Yeah. So our panel is about ready to start. So what we have here, let's start from there. Please give a short introduction once again, starting with Thomas, please.
Yes, my name is Thomas and I do distributed denial of service attacks. This is a microphone.
All right, I have mic. So hi everybody, my name is Ursula Koski. I'm from Amazon Web Services and I'm an advisor for enterprise architectures of different scales.
So you can keep that microphone there, yep. And you can speak there as well. You three. And, yeah.
Okay, so Peter Goodwin, feels like I've been here very a while ago. Again, efficient IP, and I run the pre-sales in the region.
Thank you.
Okay, hello, I'm Ismo Paananen, and I like regulation and wine, as you heard before, so that's about me.
And my name is Tomi Tarpio from Vector AI, running the sales in Finland and Baltics.
And did you see him before? Yeah, not yet. Yes, but he's a VIP guest star of this evening from Vector AI.
Yeah, I think I'm the smartest. I came when the wine was served, so that's my strategy.
So we have only 2 questions for this evening. We've been talking a lot about preparedness, kind of a preparedness about the situation here, not only in Finland or in Europe, globally as well. The geopolitics is one of the word of this day. Jarna Hartikainen from National Emergency Supply Agency told us that, well, we are quite well prepared and we have learned lessons from Ukraine, and actually, as she said, they have been there and they are now having a contract with Ukrainians, so they will get more information regarding, for example, how Russia do the cyber attacks, etc. But still, what would you suggest from your point of view that we all should, or organizations or persons who are here, should do to make this preparedness even better? Maybe we start in the same order.
Okay. Yeah. So, from our perspective, Vector AI, we are on detection business. So when the protection fails, that's when we kick in. Oh, thanks. So that's why the question is really relevant. How to prepare? Well, you need to have that 2 sides of the story: protection and detection. What to highlight for the coming years? So multi-cloud. The more and more you have attack surfaces, you have a lot of new attack. What you call the vectors to be prepared for, and that's only growing and growing, and we are trying to solve that with an AI. So that's maybe my short comments on the first question.
Yeah, I think I would like to highlight the change, how we approach the cooperation around security. Like we still hear a lot that our cybersecurity policy is a kind of confidential document. We can't tell anything about how do we handle cybersecurity. And now if we think about trust, and what the NIS2 is basically enforcing that, like regulated companies, they need to make sure that the supply chain is secure. I believe that in future, smart, especially big companies, they see the questionnaire not as a kind of test, are they worth of it or not, but more like a training that, hey, we have these providers in our supply chain and we want to help them to be more secure. So in a way, I believe that the cooperation is the only way how we can handle the situation, because it's not only in a, like what you do, like what is our game. You need to make sure that everybody is playing the same game. There's some session going on, like Kimmo is taking the stage, I can see. But yeah, this is what I think, like the cooperation, like you just did there, is that we need to find more and better ways for that. And I believe that it needs to be on technical level, but also like on the management level. How do we make deals with different companies that, hey, let's do this together and let's be safe together. A bit big theme, but thanks. Yeah.
So from efficient IP, I'll just concentrate on what I know, which is DNS. So does everyone in here understand zero trust? Yeah?
Sure.
How many people are actually trying to implement it or have implemented it in their networks? It's normally quite a few people. So one question for you. If I'm on your network using your laptop and I make a DNS request for any valid name on your internal zones, would I get an answer? And I kind of know the answer is going to be yes, right? Because that's what DNS does. It's a lookup, just like a phone book. You put the name in, gives you the IP address you want. The question you should think about is should you? Should you give every query an answer, irrespective of where it's coming from? Because in zero trust, you shouldn't give access to systems that people aren't supposed to have access to. Why give them those two pieces of information? A valid name, or a name that's valid, and then the responding IP address. Because they can't access the system, they shouldn't be making the query, but malware will. And people don't consider it with DNS today in actually looking at DNS to do microsegmentation while they're trying to segment the rest of the network. DNS is overlooked a lot of the time. It's just something to consider. If you want to know more, we can talk about it.
All right, so I would maybe pick a kind of a recurring theme. So when we talk to partners, customers, we tend to get this question of, oh my God, generative AI is happening, agents are happening. So the question is, how do we protect against tools implemented with AI? Then there's, of course, a question of how do we protect with tools that are built with the AI? And of course, if we are building our own, so how do we protect the actual tool? And something that we have actually built or implemented also is a scoping matrix that talks about what changes, how do we build it, what should you look out for, and it goes on multiple layers, starting from what can you do with the public tools, ending to I want to train my own language models. So I would say that is maybe something, if you want to look into it, happy to talk about it more.
Whatever you have today, assume it's gone tomorrow, and then go back and think, what should I have done already yesterday?
So now it's your turn to ask. We have here 5 experts and me, as I counted. So please. Actually, it doesn't have to be regarding these items. Whatever you... Okay, here's the first one.
Hi, Teemu Varpanen. We have this upcoming legislation, the ADAS. So how do you see the impact of the upcoming identity wallets and the impact on the identity management kind of security as we have been talking today, and the impact on the ecosystem? So those will be mandatory on the Christmas Eve 26, but still kind of a big change coming up.
I have to admit first that what I understood is wallet, and I don't know where's mine now, but well, it's over there. Actually, very good question. I'm not an expert of that, neither of that, but are there any who would like to give some answer? Yeah, of course.
Well, I feel obligated because it's regulation. Yeah, I have read something about it, but not an expert. But I think it's the same as with everything. Like it kind of starts from learning, because the difficult thing in many areas is that does it apply to us? And there's two ways. Again, directly, and then through some supply chain or some through different connections. And I think what the authorities have missed every time is starting the discussion early enough. It's basically they wait and wait and wait when this is soon to be the last version, and the discussion is not starting because we don't have the facts. So what should we maybe do? Push on the regulators to give us some guidance, even early enough. Also, I see one problem is that you can't get any information about how this will be kind of enforced. What are the expected ways how to implement that? And we know that authorities say that, yeah, we will wait until you have done it and we will then tell you is it wrong or right. But I think by learning early enough and following the news, advertise, we are going to create this kind of also monitoring tool that you can monitor regulation news and also other news items to understand what's happening now. And why I see that AI can help in this, that news items are often a bit difficult to digest, but AI is really good to summarize stuff. So I believe following the news on that item, but maybe using AI as a helping tool, that you early enough understand how it could apply to us, because the information is coming drip, 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 sounded like a Trump, drip, 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 if you know. Okay, thank you.
Next one, please. Yep.
What is the biggest threat for 2026?
So.
I think, Krista, you would know better than me. So, yeah, well, from Vectra AI perspective, we are specialized to identify the real sophisticated and really committed attackers. So I would say that the biggest threat in 26 is that these state actors, that segment is growing, and the more there are more and more really dangerous, really committed, sophisticated attackers in the market, if you may say. That's my 5 cents on that.
Unpatched software.
Again, so I think so. I would say if we can say quantum computing going completely wild and we are live and running, I would maybe say that the fact that we are tackling so much misinformation, there's a lot of technical debt in the organizations, and it's very easy to kind of cover it up and say there's no technical debt. Yes, there is. So when do you start building? When do you start changing it? And of course, the attack vectors are actually getting more intelligent. So yeah, we should have been starting building yesterday.
I guess the one thing I would add is that the people that are writing the malware are getting better at it. And they're targeting individuals. And they can send a phishing email out to two people, one of which is the kind of person they want to target and one isn't. The one person that isn't will just go to the normal site, and the other person gets directed to the malicious site. And it's very, very difficult to see that unless you're the targeted person. So the attacks are just going to get more sophisticated. And they're now they've got service providers for malware that will route clients to the malware sites, and people pay them to do it. How do you stop that? Because I don't know how. But I think that's going to come more and more to the fore.
Actually, in the afternoon, I asked Jarno about the possibility of peace between Ukraine and Russia. Think about, well, that would be a really good news. But on the other hand, think about it, how much different kind of cyber-related resources they both have available, especially the Russians, which are attacking against. What happens to those? Are they going to, back to their normal work? They've been working hackers or criminals for past 3-4 years. No, they are trying to find new targets. And that worries me. And I think it should worry every one of us. So that could make a huge, make numbers bigger regarding these cyber criminal activities. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can manage that somehow. And of course we can always think about it that, well, maybe they could be white hat hackers because they know how to protect as well. Because if you know how to attack, then you of course have to know how to protect against that. Some of those maybe can turn to white, but I don't know. Just remember that when there's this peace agreement signed, something will happen, of course, here in the cyber world as well. But then let's take our next question. Well, regulation has been, actually AI has been the word of the day. It's not that typical that we have in one day 2 companies which have AI on their names as well. So I remember, cloud was about the same 10 years ago, about everything was cloud, etc. Now cloud, AI, and then take these robots somehow on there as well. So we are going to have a next symposium on November. So I hope to see that there are first humanoid robots with me over there, and we can have some kind of new kind of demonstrations using them. One might fly over there and, very slowly and quiet and take pictures, as my drone, which is somewhere here as well. So the question about, since the 2018 GDPR, we have seen quite a lot of regulations, especially, of course, at EU level. What does the overall picture look like? Is anything missing? Do we still need something more? Or should we need more fine-tuning? Or what do you think is needed? Or should we try to make it a little more or less work for us? But what's your opinion? What should we do? What should you do? Who would like to start? Okay, Ursula.
So I was actually talking about this topic, I think it was the beginning of the year, so this might be, the statistics might be a bit old. But at that moment, when I was giving that session, there was 1,700 different regulations and legislations going on and being built. Okay, cool. There's a lot happening globally. Are they ready or are they realistic? No. So let's look at like GDPR, the right to be forgotten. How easy it is to implement that in the current environment with the ChatGPTs and likes. Or let's say misinformation. Ask something about a person, let's say, what's Ursula's home address? You might get an answer, we can't answer that, but at the moment it varies so much. So we are not even close to implementing it. So I would say there also look very hard and think about what you need to implement. what are those regulations, because there's so many that you can capture them all and they will, of course, be upgraded, updated. So there's a lot of changes happening.
Yeah, and there's interesting stuff going on now in the AI field. Is basically they are starting to build different kind of standardized interfaces. Anthropics released this idea of MCP. It's Model Context Protocol. It basically means a way how an AI can ask data from some system. So then Google released A2A like standard or method. So basically the idea is how different AIs can talk to each other. What if we would then create some kind of way for system providers to tell not only like how AI can call them, but how the company itself like handles all this kind of stuff. Like I think open communication, how we are handling like GDPR questions, or how do we handle data, how do we process that, like the truly open atmosphere on that one. Because now it's pretty much so that every company ingests the regulation and then tries to cope with it and then pushes something out. But I think we need more transparency. And transparency can also then maybe create some kind of harmonization. As said, like hundreds or thousands of regulations coming up. I think we need harmonization. But it may not mean that we will then start to strip important things away. But it means like we need to just say that, hey, well, we have this bucket here, and we have like 20 or 50 or 100 different requirements, and these mean the same. This is basically what we are doing now. But I can see that there need to be some kind of effort also on the EU level. Maybe even like ISO organization could have some like a role on this, but some kind of comfort for the organization and for the people needs to be there.
The GDPR fines need to be divided fairly among member countries.
No, I've got nothing intelligent to say.
Yeah, so we are on the same boat then. I don't have much on this one. I have a story though. Answer to that question from Vector AI perspective is that no, it's not needed. Some month ago there was an event like this, and there was this really persistent person in audience asking that how do we handle this with the profiling that we are doing with our AI, and there was this misperception that Vectra is creating a profile of the users, and then we are monitoring their behavior, and he got all upset that, but you don't understand the question, that how do you manage GDPR with your profiles? And he didn't get that there's no profiles. So we don't need it. We solve the issue in other ways. So I don't have anything on this topic, but because it's most likely the last comment, I'm gonna stop with the story, because people always remember stories. So me and Kimmo, we met 20 years ago, almost the first time. I was working with Effecte, and I was a consultant, and we were having a customer day, a little bit like this, and our management was not able to join at that event, so they said, Tomi, you take care of the evening and you pay the bills and everything. And I was okay. I hope that my credit card has enough limit. And we were like 15, 20 people in the last bar. And then suddenly Kimmo started to ask from everybody that, what do you drink? What do you drink? And I was, now I don't need to pay anymore. And he went on like 3 rounds with a lot of drinks. And then bar closed and we were taking our jackets. It was January in the hallway. And then Kimmo came to me, Tomi, you have a bill to pay. Thank you.
How much do I owe you? Okay, let's get back to that. I would say the final verse, harmonization and consolidation. Those 2 things regarding this GDPR or other regulations. That's what we need. Yeah. And now the bar is still open. If you have any, tickets, you can use them there. Or then you can, of course, ask if you have money to buy something as well. But hey, let's thank all of our supporters, speakers. I have a slide over there as well for that. So Ursula, thank you. Amazon, Cyber Day, Ismo, thank you. Efficient IP, thank you. Thomas, thank you. Vectra, thank you. We have a privacy designer here as well today. DNV Cyber, Jan already left the building, like, the one famous singer. And also to Jarno. Actually, Jarno was this morning in Tampere, then he came here, and then he has been at least in one event after that already speaking here in Helsinki area. And now he is heading to Espoo, and he has his fourth speech of the day. Only for today. Anssi and also for Jarno. Let's give a round of applause, all of us. Thank you. And let's finish the bar.